What's going on, peoples? Back again with another episode with Beyond the Vowz.
Hey guys,
I'm Marcus, and this is my lovely wife,
LaFlower, of course.
Man, thank you guys for joining us tonight on this beautiful Sunday evening, right?
Yeah, Stuffy.
Oh yeah, for sure. So if you follow us on Stunner Radio. We're also on Facebook, Instagram.
Right.
Man, we're on iHeartRadio, any platform where you can get your podcast, your audio. We on that thing. So please like and subscribe and follow us, please.
Absolutely. I learned out that we were even on Google Podcasts. I thought that Google Podcasts. I thought that was
I gotta check that
super
out. Super
dope. So how you feeling, boo?
Well, like you brought up, like I'm a little scratchy. I sound probably like Kermit the Frog on here. Man, we've been going through the last couple of weeks. We have been resilient.
Yes,
you know
we
what I'm saying? We have a lot of things we want to share. You know, we'll probably put that stuff on another platform we got going on. But man, we've been going through it. So basically, everybody had pretty much COVID over here.
Yeah, COVID ran through
everybody,
almost the whole house,
and put us all on our butts, right?
Yeah.
So we've been quarantining, hibernating, ISO, everybody from the baby. It was literally like me, Flower,
everyone except for like 3 of the kids.
Our baby,
3 of the kids.
Yeah, our baby, which is 9 months, and then we had our 7-year-old in the room with us. Then we had our mother-in-law. She's doing fine. She's still going through her symptoms. She had it.
Enough, she's the one that has been more asymptomatic than anybody. It's bananas.
Yeah, so she's been quarantined in her room, and then we had our little ones that were pretty much roaming around the house. They really were.
They were not roaming around the house.
No, they were literally roaming around the house. But everybody's all good. We went and got our test today. Everything's all negative.
Right.
Ironically, one of our children, our teenager, she was negative the whole entire time. She's been hanging out with her grandma. They've been making fruit runs and out in the streets and stuff. Masked up though. But now she's got COVID.
Right. She was the one that was like helping with the little ones, helping with dinner. They were not roaming around the house all alone.
So now she's in hibernation. Everybody else is free.
Right. Except for our oldest. Our oldest, she's still, we're waiting on her to retest. Yeah. And then my mom to retest. But it has been bananas. I would say for me, it was definitely more. Well, first let me say thank God that our symptoms were mild. We were, it was just like a bad cold or sinus infection. But I think Marcus may agree or disagree, but for me, it was so mental. The mental impact of it was bananas. For me, being a mom, stressing about the house, because one time I peeked out the room, y'all, and I literally had a breakdown.
Man, I was like, damn this house. We got to get ourselves together. I don't give a damn what it looks like right now. I'm trying to get healthy. I'm trying to get out of this room. Bro, we were in our room for 10 days. It was like consistently. Like I did not leave the room at all. So it was like we didn't see sunlight. We didn't go outside.
I went to go lay in the
10 days. It makes you reassess life.
And the person you with, you really gotta be like, you really my person. Because, But it was sometimes COVID would test your relationship. Like not just the pandemic and stuff like that, just already, being more at home, but being sick with somebody, it will test that relationship.
Yeah, it definitely will. So you definitely have to get along with them. You definitely have to like them because you're going to be in a confined space together, especially if y'all got it together at the same time.
Right.
Y'all going to support each other because my wife was a hot mess when she gets sick. She looks cool now. She's beautiful. She's intelligent. But, bro, she was like, man. Like a few days ago, bro. It was hilarious. So
thanks, Lisa.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we're good. We're not trying to downplay anything with COVID because we know it's still affecting people. People are having, we still have a family member that's still going through COVID. You're having issues breathing and probably had to be on a respirator. They had to put tubes in his lungs. My wife had pneumonia a little bit along with COVID, so she had respiratory issues. So we're not trying to downplay this thing. We're not saying, hey, just go out here and be careless, because it's ironically how we got it. We have been fine this whole entire time during COVID. Nobody in my house has got COVID up until this point, and ironically, it was
we're not gonna get too many details.
It was because of us two right here.
Right.
You know, we kind of let our guard down, got around into a situation, and lo and behold, we got tested positive.
Right.
But that's a whole nother detail. Like I said, we'll probably put that on
we'll just do
YouTube.
We'll just do it straight on Bowie House. But yeah, it was interesting. But like I said, we're definitely grateful. We don't want to downplay it at all.
So our last episode, when we had the two couples on there, we felt like
oh my
we were in the midst
y'all
of
had no
it.
Clue.
We were in the midst of it. So luckily, that show happened because we were on the verge of not having that show, because we were in the midst of really being in the midst of the symptoms, and the symptoms were like like giving it to us.
It was like every day. It's like COVID has a mind of its own, because every day it's like you might wake up feeling actually like, okay, this feels like me. But then as soon as you get out of the bed and start moving around, it's like, nah, player. A whole nother set of symptoms hit you and put you back down on your butt.
But like I said, this ain't a COVID show. This ain't no doctor show. This is relationship love, man. So like I said, when you're in the midst of the fire, whether it's COVID or your personal lives or what you got going through,
right?
You got to be with that somebody that's going to support you, hold you down. And really, when you have those moments, when you are individually going through something, you really find out who's your ride or die. And I mean your spouse. Are they riding or dying with you? Are they getting in the trenches with you? Or are they just going to leave you out there on the battlefield by yourself, bleed? And that's real right there. Are they going to come out there? They're going to have your back? Are they going to make sure that you good, that you safe, you sound, that you're not out here just in these streets looking like a fool?
Looking bad in the streets.
So, yeah. I definitely got me a ride or die. You know what I'm saying? She held me down. And like, I definitely had to hold her down because, like I said, she's a hot mess when she's sick, bro. Oh, my goodness.
I was not that bad. Are you? Wow. You putting on for the people tonight, y'all.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. But you putting on for the people. Get off my dime.
So, we're going to go ahead and kick this show off, man. We got a great couple tonight, man. I'm going to let my wife introduce them, man. But these people are movers and shakers. They have an interesting story. They have a blended family just like us. So I'm excited to hear about their journey, how they started, their whole history. Because I don't want to feel like I'm in this thing alone with this blended family. You feel me?
Really?
Anyways. Go ahead, baby.
So guys, our special guest tonight, they're flat out phenomenal. I really enjoyed. They have a great energy, great spirits. We met them actually in one of our business ventures, and they just truly have hearts of gold, guys. We've been to their house. We have worked with them. Like I said, we've partnered with them in business. They have great careers. They enjoy helping people, guys, and they love the two-step. Not the kids two-step, but they're dancers, guys. So it's absolutely phenomenal. So without further ado, Bernard and Kenya Jackson, are y'all in the building?
Hello.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome. Thank you guys so much for being on Beyond the Vowz and coming to hang with our Beyond the Vowz family tonight. We definitely appreciate you. And before we jump into the questions, you guys just introduce yourself and tell the Beyond the Vowz family a little bit more about you.
Well, my name again is Bernard Jackson. My lovely wife, Kenya Jackson, and I have a background in business development. Kenya has a background in the health field, and we've just been blessed. Had situations that gave us opportunities to come into the same space. And as soon as she got into my space, I decided that this is where she needed to stay. So I started setting up boundaries so that she couldn't get away. And before you knew it, she's all mine.
All right. Okay, Bernard. What's up, Kenya?
Hello. My husband introduced me, Kenya Jackson. And like he said, I have a background in healthcare, actually nursing. So I've been nursing for 13 years, well, almost 14 years. Got a master's degree level in advanced practice nursing, and has been doing that for about 4 years. So love to danced all my life, pretty much probably since I was about 3. I can remember like little bits and pieces of just dancing when I was that young. And, grade school dance, junior high, cheerleading dance, and high school dance team. And actually, when I was in college, I was in an African dance troupe, and in church was on a dance team. So been dancing for a long time. And that's how I met Bernard, when I actually was introduced to partner dancing. So before it was really solo dancing and group dancing. And then I went on to partner dancing, started doing that in 2013, I think. Yeah, 13. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Amazing.
So I gotta ask, I know you was about to get into it. So when y'all met each other for the first time at the dance, right?
It was on a cruise.
On a cruise. Okay. So y'all did the couples dancing, right? That's what it was?
Yes.
More like partner dancing.
Partner dancing, because it doesn't necessarily have to be your significant other, but it is a dance made for two. Were
y'all accidentally paired together? Did y'all actually pick each other, or how did this come about?
You go ahead. You tell me.
So we were on board a dance cruise, and I was one of the instructors there on the cruise. And Kenya was one of the people who had signed up to participate in the dance. And I'll tell you, actually, at that time when we were on the cruise, I was actually with someone else. And Kenya, she was single and lovely and just doing her thing, free spirit. And well, I try not to tell everybody about this, but I guess I'm telling everybody right now. I did my best to avoid even looking in her direction, because all I could see was I was going to get myself in trouble. So, I mean, if you find yourself, if you're with someone and you're trying to do right, and then you see someone who you're just extraordinarily attracted to, I said, time to run. It's like, I can't be around. But she was in the classes and she was just doing her thing. She was just dancing. And sometimes I tell people she was just trying to woo me, but I'm not even sure she knew who it was. But when that relationship that I was in actually ended, I spent some time by myself, but constantly remembering Kenya, and it's like, let me see how I can put myself in her space. So she tells a story about how we wound up together, and I kind of like the way she say it because it's true.
How did y'all keep in touch after the cruise?
Okay, so on the cruise, like he stated, he was with someone, and honestly, I didn't even know they were together until like the mid-cruise. But I wasn't really, I wasn't like trying to get with him or anything like that. I went with a friend of mine. Her and I, we just wanted to dance and wanted to have fun. I wasn't looking for anybody. It's definitely not anybody that's, with somebody else. So I just, I just did what I normally do, just be me, right? But him and I danced. We danced because he was the instructor, and obviously, as a single person, he's a nice looking guy. And like I said, I didn't even know that he was, with someone there until like mid cruise. And I was like, I didn't know they were together. But anyway, but we had danced, and there was something that I felt when we had this one dance, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that was interesting. So, I just left it alone, continued on the cruise, mind my own business, and went home after the cruise. I lived in the Houston area. He lived in Austin. So we we were not close by. We didn't live near each other. We did exchange numbers because he was, giving information about the next events. He was one of the organizers for the cruise, and he was the dance instructor. So, and he took a lot of pictures. So he, got my information and sent me pictures of, all the pictures that he took on the cruise. Well, that was 2013. 2014, I started my master's program. That was January 2014. So y'all, I really wasn't thinking about anybody. I was like, I'm starting my program. This is about school, and he sent me a text like, now the cruise was in October 31st, 2013. And he sent me a text like January, February saying, hey, I just wanted to say hi, see how you're doing. Did you get your pictures? Just small talk. And I was like, sure, yeah, here. And I just left it alone, right? And that was like, and then maybe a couple of months after that, he sent another text asking if I was going to some big dance event that they usually do in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I'm not going to that. I'm in school, Then in June, he sent me, so when I was in school, I was still working at my, I was nursing at an outpatient surgery center, and I was also the infection prevention nurse. So they would send me out on conferences. So I was in Anaheim, California. And so I get this message on my phone. I'm at the conference, and it was him talking about, hey, I was just calling to say hi and see how you're doing, and wanted to know if you would be able to travel with me to Baton Rouge to teach a class. I was like, what?
I needed help.
Hey, I feel you, but no, she wasn't getting it.
I was like, yeah, I didn't. I was like, wait a minute. First of all, I did Houston two-step. He taught Dallas Fort Worth swing out. So I wasn't really, that familiar with DFW swing, which I did a little bit of, but I was like, first of all, why are you asking me? I don't even really know how to do DFW swing like that to be helping you teach a class. Two, I'm in Anaheim, California. So I called him, let him know, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm in Anaheim, California. And he was like, well, maybe you can help me on the next one. And I was like, okay. And that was June. And then July, he called me, and we just started talking on the phone in July, like back and forth talking.
I was on a mission.
Hey, he was on a mission, man.
And
he knew what he wanted. He was dropping them dimes off. He was dropping the message. She was like, she wasn't getting it.
Bernard is resilient and
persistent. She didn't say absolutely not when she was in California. It's like, it wasn't a no. It was I'm sorry. I wish I could. And I wish you could. Let me give you another chance then.
Okay, so when did it become official? When did you guys I know you guys started talking more, but when were you guys like, okay, let's do this? Because I know you guys have been in previous relationships, you guys have a blended family. So when did y'all like, okay, let's make this thing official?
So in July, we started talking more. In August, now we hadn't seen each other since the cruise in October.
Okay.
So in August, there was a dance event here that it was a weekend thing. So he came to the dance event. And from that night, it was a 2-night event. So Friday night and Saturday. So the Friday night was the first time we had seen each other since the cruise. And he came to the dance. We danced pretty much all, we danced a lot that night. We took some pictures, and we went out to, that night we went out to IHOP. After the dance, we went to IHOP, and we talked at IHOP, and we sat in his car at the IHOP in the parking lot after we had eaten everything, I don't know, for a couple of hours, listening to music and talking about music and just talking. And the next night was the other part of the dance. Now, he still lived in Austin, so he had drove down to Houston for the dance. He went back that night.
Had to work that next morning.
He had to work the next morning. Then he came back that Saturday night for the dance, and we was together during the dance together. And then that night we went over to this Marriott in Memorial City, and we were there listening to music again. He brought, we danced a little bit at the Marriott. So we didn't necessarily call it official at that night, but we knew we were gonna date. So in September, a couple of weeks later, I went out to Austin, and I was like, after that, there was a dance there, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be official.
She skipped one of the things. She took a trip to California, and there was actually a stepping event here in Houston.
Oh, that was Chicago. Chicago.
Yeah, she went to Chicago. Well, I came down as though I came for the event, but I really came because I wanted to see her. But she was out of town. So I stayed over in Houston that night. And when she didn't know I was here, when she got home, I was like parked outside of her apartment. And, her stalker vibes could have went off and everything could have went wrong right then and there.
Okay. So I was like,
but I was packing gifts. I
He
kept
was
packing
packing
gifts and flowers.
Okay, at least you had some.
we had talked, and I knew he was going to be coming, but I wasn't expecting him to be there when I got home. I was like, what? Initially I was like, I gave him the side eye, like, why are you here while I'm just not getting home? And then he had gifts and things, so it was like, and I knew anyway, so it was like, okay.
I do gotta ask.
I'm gonna give him.
I know this question is probably gonna be tacky, but I gotta ask. So Bernard, you didn't hit her with I do give private lessons?
No, that wasn't it. It was more on the side of, if you help me to instruct, then of course I'm going to be teaching you. So I'm going to have to teach you a little bit more because she was more of a beginner. And so we got to spend some time together so that we can develop our chemistry. And I'm going to help you to come along so that you'll be able to teach along with me, not just be there for demonstration. So.
Okay, awesome.
You went all the way around.
Yeah.
You were calculated.
Yeah.
Super smooth. Oh my goodness. Now, Bernard, how did you start? Like, where does your love for dance came from? I know King mentioned that she remembers doing it as a young child and throughout, school and college and such. But what about you? Where did your love for dance come from?
I have a kind of a big family. My parents both like to dance. And so there was 7 children, 5 boys, 2 girls, and we made our own fun. And one of those fun things that you can do when you're financially not at the top is you can stay at home and you can put the music on. And I mean, as kids, we just danced around, and those things in your kids that you praise them for, those are the things that they tend to gravitate towards. And that was one of the things my mom used to love to watch me dance. So she'd almost invite people over and say, come here, Bernard, come here, y'all watch him. So I'd get out there and I just start shaking. If I look back, we actually had some videos. She ain't seen them. And when I look at it, it looked like I was on fire or something and just trying to find a way to get it out. But, my mom, she was really proud of that. And then, just dance throughout with. That was in a small town, Atlanta, Texas. When we had an opportunity to get out, we went out to dance at the little parties and stuff. And in high school, I entered into a couple of dance competitions and won. And then my brother actually learned how to do DFW swing dance. He lived in Dallas and I lived in Austin. Every time we would go to Dallas, he'd be like, come on, let me show you some steps. So I started doing the dance in 2002, and I lived in Austin, and there was no one in Austin who knew how to do the dance. So I danced by myself from 2002 to 2007, just getting down the basics and learning. So that's what kind of helped me to be the kind of dancer that I am, is the fact that I can't tell you I'm really, really good and fast. I just had 4 years to get the basics down before I ever had to show anybody whether I was good or not. So within 4 years, you're either good or you're handicapped. So.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that is absolutely amazing. And so what made you turn that into, being an instructor and doing like the dance cruises and things like that? Just, making that transition to helping others.
Well, just like my brother, I mean, we've always enjoyed dancing. So at the time, I was actually teaching martial arts. Had won a couple of competitions, state championship here in Texas and California. But martial arts, it hurt if you do it right. If before I became extraordinarily proficient with it, it hurt real bad. So by that time, I had started teaching, and it just didn't hurt as much to teach dance. When people ask me if I would teach, because I was pretty good, my brother was excellent, and I was just taking after him. I was pretty good, and they was like, "Hey, will you teach? Would you mind teaching me? Can you do some private?" I knew that in order to be an instructor, that meant you had to promise to be in a certain place at a certain time every week, whether people showed up or not. So I was like, no. And I said no for like probably about 9 months to a year, until a really good friend of mine asked me, she kind of got me in the way that I got Kenya in. It was like, no, I just need your help. If you could just help me for like maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And here we are. That started in 2009. So here we are like 12 years later, and I'm still teaching. It just started off with me helping my friend. But I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Amazing.
So have you won any dance competitions?
Yes. I entered several competitions, placed first, second, or third in every competition that I've ever been in. Kenya and I, we did a couple of, I want to call it competitions, but it really wasn't. It was just showcase competitions when we were teaching workshops out in Vegas. And, one year we went in thinking, this ain't nothing. It's just a bunch of friends getting together. And someone else entered into the competition and they won. And we were actually the instructors. And it was after that, it's like, never again. No, no one's going to beat me as an instructor at my venue.
Right.
So, the next year we came out and just blew it out the water.
Well, they were instructors also. They just weren't instructors at that event.
Okay. Give me something more.
Now, the other thing is I was in like 5 other competitions also. So by the time we got to our, and that was my fault. By the time we got to our competition, I was like, oh, okay, I probably shouldn't have done that, because now I'm real tired.
And it was really bad, because it was like, don't worry, y'all are just going to showcase, because no one else is entering into the competition, because pretty much people were scared to enter in against us until these other people showed up, and it's like, we'll do it. So now we not just showcasing, we're competing.
Yeah.
And that was something different than the other couple. They were ready and we weren't.
It was ready. Now,
yeah.
Dance is an amazing art. But I know that there's so many couples out there who want to do it, but they think about the stereotypes. They let fear stop them. So what advice would you guys give to someone to, who has thought about it, but they're like, nah, I don't want to do it.
I got 2 left feet.
Oh, that's great. You got 2. I only had 1 when I started.
No. I'm saying I can.
No, I only had 1 left foot when I started. You're a foot ahead of me.
I'm speaking for other people.
No, I'm speaking for anybody who tells me that. That's what I tell. Oh, you got 2 left feet? I only had 1. So I don't teach people how to dance initially. I teach people how to walk in rhythm. When I say you got to learn how to dance, then they get this apprehension. But forget about dancing. If you can walk in rhythm. So if I saw you walk in here, all I got to do is teach you how to put that walk to a certain count. And because the dance is made, it was created to go with the way that you walk. So the turns, the moves, it's all based on which foot you're stepping on and where you are in the dance. And then it's like one of the things that we decided to turn the dance more into our ministry instead of just the dance. So we can teach anybody. We can teach anybody. And I did teach just about anybody and everybody. But this dance, it has a personality. The personality was there before we ever started doing this dance. It's a jazzed up version of an intimate ballroom dance. Intimate, it's close. And sometimes when you're like just a stranger, you get nowhere else on this planet can you walk up to a stranger, take them in your arms and take their hand, and this is where you are within 3 minutes.
Well, you may not
without going to jail. So this dance encourages you to just walk over to a stranger. Can I have this dance? And before you know it, you're now in an embrace and you're close, and things happen from that. So I decided that I didn't like being the catalyst for those things happening, because some of those people were supposed to be with someone else, and well, they just begin to believe that stare in the eye. So we decided that we was going to focus on couples while we taught this dance, because there's a whole lot in the dance that actually relates to relationships and partners and roles in a relationship. And I try not to offend people, but the way that I see roles in a relationship is the way that God told me, not the way that the news tells me and current media tells me. You know, I'm a single mom, I'm a single parent, so you know, I take charge. That's great. That's great. You do what you feel you need to do. But in this dance, there's a leader, there's a follower. And if you have two people trying to follow, then it's just two people standing on the floor, bored, looking at each other. If you have two people trying to lead, then you got a fight on your hands. And that's the way it is in relationships. So it's pretty much this dance with the male most of the time being the leader and the lady being the follower. The dance is all about the lady, but the man it's his responsibility to make her look good and feel good. It's the male's responsibility to take care of his partner. So otherwise, the man is just a clown. I can go out and put on a clown show. If the lady don't look good, don't feel good, then she's not coming back. When you ask her to dance, she's going to find an excuse. And it's the same way in the relationship. If I don't find a way to lead her, to make her look good, feel comfortable, feel safe, then it's just not going to work out as a dance goes, or a relationship, in my opinion. Simply mine and God's.
I will say that when I was learning how to dance, partner dance, it was different for me because I was used to either solo dancing, doing solos, or group dancing. And it was really me having to be responsible for me in both situations, right? So really I had to lead myself. So it was a bit of an adjustment when I started doing the partner dancing, because, you know, if I pick up really quick. So if I know what to do, I'm going to do it, you know. And so I had to really learn how to follow. The thing about Bernard, what I loved about his teaching and just the way he danced, is it was easy for me to follow him in the dance. Now, you know, I'm not going to say I didn't, you know, try to, you know, do what I wanted to do sometimes, but he was very much in control of the dance, as he is with just his personality. And that's one of the things I love about his personality is he's very in control of just, you know, the manliness. You know, that's one of the things that I was attracted to, is just the manliness. So when we danced, I let go. I was, you know, it was just easier for me to let go of my control, because before I married him, yes, I have a son. So my son is 27. So, and I was never married before I married Bernard. So I was a single mom. I was engaged, but that didn't work out, you know, but I was, you know, pretty much a single lady up until, dated people, off and on, but really single lady up until I was 44 when I got married to him. So I was the boss. Okay. So I was used to doing everything for myself. And that's just, even as I grew up very independent. I took care of my brother, I took care of things around the house. That's just who I was. And so even now I'm still learning how to relinquish control and to, allow my husband to lead, just like he leads in the dance, to lead us in our, in our household. So, and, it takes work, and you have to be committed to it. And, sometimes, I have to check myself. Sometimes he has to check me too, but I have to check myself like, okay, Kenya.
I love it though. I love it. And I never
calm it down.
Got it. I don't know if you thought about it, babe, how with dancing, how there are roles. And you can't equate that and mirror that into, the biblical roles of a marriage. So
yes.
Absolutely beautiful. And I know we got to get ready to go to break, guys, but I'm super excited about our next half of the show. But we will be right back as we continue to chat with Bernard and Kenya Jackson, guys.
Life is better when you are living on purpose, but many times we get stuck in the rat race and in the mundane task of our day-to-day lives, causing most to lose sight of their purpose. That's why certified life coach, inner healer, and business strategist LaFlower Bowie is here to help you get calibrated to your calling through proven systems, techniques, and resources. Order a copy of her book, Principles to Reposition, to assist you with your journey, or schedule a free clarity session to kickstart the journey. After these sessions, clients have stated they found clarity and opened their eyes to things they had long forgotten. So get social and follow LaFlower on all social media platforms at LaFlower Bowie. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Beyond the Vowz. We got the Jacksons. Yes. Super awesome. Hey, but now I gotta ask this question. I know you said you helped anybody and everybody that comes, but has there been somebody you say, you know what, I can't help you. You really do have two left feet. I can't. It's gonna take too long.
One person.
Really?
There's been one person, and it's not that I gave up on him. He gave up on himself. So I felt like if he stuck around, he was gonna get it.
But it was a little challenging for him, though.
It was very challenging for him. He
being nice. You like,
if you can't clap to the beat, if you can't nod to the beat, when everybody else is doing this and you're like,
he can't find that rhythm at the beat.
Yeah, that was really, really challenging for him. But he gave it that old Boy Scout try, and then he gave it the sprinter's run. So he just gave up after a while. But that's only been one person in 12 years.
Awesome.
So, and one of the things that we did was Kenya and I, we created an instructional video.
Nice.
So during the COVID season, the pandemic pouring, we actually closed our class down. We quit teaching face to face. But what I did was I still sold the videos, the instructional videos to people, because our beginner's instructional video has probably equivalent to somewhere between 6 to 9 months worth of lessons in 2 hours, because the information never changes. Just when you're doing classes, you got to repeat it every week until they catch on. With the video, we do it one time and you watch it until you get it. So we sold the video until if you have any issues after that, you and your partner get together, because I showed the male part, she showed the female part, and then we showed how you get together with it and how the guy's supposed to lead, and just a little bit of information about how she follows. And so if you have any problems with it, then call us. We'll set up a Zoom to see if we can help to get you beyond whatever the situation may be that's causing you a problem.
I love it. And where can they find the instructional video now?
Well, they would have to give us a call, and My phone number is pretty much everywhere in the world. So I have no problem sharing it here as well, because it's on every flyer from Las Vegas to Baltimore, Texas. It's all over the place, California. So area code 512-415-5713. So they
one more time, Bernard.
Area code 512-415-5713. If they give me a call, then I can take that video. We take Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, and we drop that video in the mail to them, and they get started as soon as they pop it into the television or into their computer.
Sweet. Well, I'm excited. I hope you guys pick that up and reach out to Bernard and Kenya so that y'all can start dancing, start two-stepping, and being able to look into each other's eyes. I know we got to pick one up. I should have got one when you guys showed it to me so long ago, but we definitely going to reach out and get one.
So I do have to ask you guys, what would you say is the secret sauce to your marriage? And I guess, what word would you use to describe your relationship? I know that's a two-part question.
Giving loaded questions.
I like loaded questions.
So first, what's your secret sauce?
I would have to say maybe the secret sauce is that we have we like some of the same things. We like dancing. I think that it's important that you and your spouse, significant other, that you share something that you enjoy doing together, whether it be skating, video games, whatever it is that you all find that you enjoy and you love. I think that's important. When I wrote down, because I wrote down my little list of what I wanted, and one of the things that I wrote on my list was he has to love to dance.
Wow.
And God sent me a man that loves to dance, because I love to dance. And I couldn't see myself with someone. I mean, I don't know. But I just feel like if I had someone that just didn't want to dance and I don't know how that would work out with me, because, I love to dance. I would say that's one thing. And then just obviously, being a couple that believes in God and that we lean on God. Prayer. I think probably every couple will say prayer, is one thing, because, marriage it's not easy. It is a commitment, and it is a choice to get up in the morning and love your spouse regardless of whatever thing that they did that upset you, or because we have our own attitudes and dispositions, especially when you get to being in your 40s and you didn't live your whole life as one, what I'm saying, and then you come together with someone. You have to, it's a choice to to say, hey, you know what, that kind of burned me up, but this is where we are. This is who I'm gonna be with forever, for better, for worse. So one of us close our eyes and go on to glory. This is what it is. So either I need to get myself together, or because what's the point of being just all mopey face for the whole day? It's just really a matter of praying and allowing God to give you the peace, which I say the peace that passes all understanding. Will guard your heart and your mind through Christ Jesus. So yeah, first and foremost, we are believers.
You said that one thing. Can I have two? Can I get two? That one thing, as Kenya said, is you have to have a standard. If I'm wrong and she's wrong, somebody's right. If I'm right and she's right, somebody's right. And so we say, let God be the truth and every man be a lie. So whether I like it or not, if God said it, that settles it. So we have a standard. And then beyond that, for me, I'm talking about the dance, and, the man is the lead and the lady follows. Well, when the Bible tells you that the man is to love his wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself for. He gave up the right for the wrong to be right, to be exactly what he was supposed to be. So it's more important to me to be happy than to be right. It's more important to be in this relationship with her than to have my light shine. So there's nothing more important than this relationship, and that includes what I think is right. So I yield whether I think I'm right or wrong. Part of my strength, I believe, for being a leader is it's kind of this idea that from business, rarely is the most wealthy person in the room the smartest person in the room. He was just smart enough to get the smartest people in the room.
Yeah.
So there are many things Kenya do better than me. And for me to insist that I take charge and leadership over that would be for me to be a fool. So she was doing very well when she met me. And I was doing all right. You know, I used to be a troll under a bridge. I met her and look at me now. So, I mean, she made me a better me. She made me a better version of what anything I've ever been. And I have to give her credit for that and recognize that I don't want to be whatever I would be without her. So it's to put her behind God, to put her first.
I love it. I love it. I love that you guys' faith is so strong in the foundation of your marriage, because it is vital. It is important, especially if you are a believer. And I think that's where some believers, where we get in sticky situations because we're believers, but we don't apply the principles and have God as a part of that foundation in our marriage or in our relationships. So amazing. Thank you guys so much for sharing. So now we're going to transition to let's talk. Little game we like to play. Got a couple questions. They're going to make you think a little bit. And so the questions are, I want you guys to answer the questions for each other. So me and Marcus answer for each other, and you guys answer for each other, to each other. I should say that, not on behalf of each other, but your responses to your spouse. Okay. So first question is, do you see any similarities between me and either of my parents, or me and either of your parents? If so, what are they? So, do you see any similarities between me and either of your parents? If so, what are they? You want to go first?
Oh, you're gonna put me up. Yes, a lot of similarities in both your parents. I know your dad was a hustler. He was a grinder. I know that he was an entrepreneur. And that's how you watched him move and watched him operate. And that's how you got that entrepreneurial spirit. Now you have this nurturing side that you definitely get from your mom. I would say you're like a shark when it comes to your dad. But it's like you have those moments of like being kind of procrastinate and kind of reserve and fall back, kind of like your mother. And then I guess it helps balance them out, and that's why those two follow each other. I can definitely see the similarities in both your parents wrapped up in one package.
A shark?
You have your you be out there getting it.
I'm not a shark.
Okay.
I prefer like sniper.
What's the difference?
Guys, snipers are more, sharks are messy. Snipers are well trained, they're patient, and they don't waste their shots. If you're gonna take the shot, you're gonna make the shot.
Absolutely. Okay.
So
sniper start, you can want it. Take it.
All right. Babes. So let's see. Of course I see your parents in you. I see dad. For
Physically,
example,
I look like my father. Yes.
You look exactly like your father. However, you're stocking up on stuff like that. How many deodorants do you have now?
You tell everybody. My dad has always been the type of people where he's like, he's prepared for anything. He's prepared for the end of the world. He's prepared for a hurricane. He's prepared for the water to stop.
Zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. So he has he double triples up on everything. Like
so how many deodorants do you
have? I don't know, a lot. So I like to stay prepared. He's taught me how to stay prepared, not just to live on just. You got to be having extra just in case.
You do. But when I saw the extra shipment come in the other day,
I accidentally pressed the button on that one.
Oh, too darn. I was like, you just ordered like 6.
Yeah.
Okay. And then with mom, I see mom in you. Of course, because she's kind of more isolated sometimes.
Man, my mom is a herb. She stays in a Herbert crab. She stays in her.
So I gotta pull you out of your crab nation sometimes. Yes. Get you involved.
My mother is very antisocial.
Yeah, but you're getting much better.
Yes. So you guys, Jacksons, what do you guys see?
Well, I'm going to start by passing it over to Kenya, because by the time Kenya met me, both of my parents had already passed away. So pretty much all she knows about my parents are stories that she's heard. So maybe she can compare some stories to me, because she didn't get an opportunity to meet the wonderful, marvelous people who are responsible for me.
Yeah, I really wish I could have met his mom and dad. His mom and dad, they were together until his dad passed first, and then his mom after his dad. But just from things that I've heard Bernard talk about, and as far as his dad, Bernard used to tell me all the stories about all the different things that his dad did. He was a jack of all trades and a master of most. So he did a lot of things. He knew how to do a lot of things. He was very smart. And I know Bernard is very smart. I mean, Bernard tells stories about when he was a little boy, he taught himself how to read. That was another one of the things that his parents were really proud of him for. And then he got a scholarship to college. He grew up in a small town. So his dad was very intelligent, even though he didn't even, I think he only had a grade school education. Sixth grade, but he's very intelligent and just knew how to do a lot of different things. And Bernard, I mean, if he tells you all some of the things that he's done, you'd be like, how did you do all that stuff? Martial arts, dancing, work for the state, work, for Dale. I mean, he's just done and knows how to do a lot of things, and business development and ordained minister. So he's, just knows how to do a lot of things well. So, and then his mom, I wish I would have met his mom, because the story that he tells about his mom all the time, my mama was mean. He just talk, he loved his mama, and I wish I would have been able to meet her, but he just talks about she didn't pull no punches when it came to, people, they were scared of Ivy Lee. She would say what she needed to say. That's him, Now Bernard seems kind of, he's nice, and he is very nice, gentle, lovely man, and I really haven't, I've seen maybe a couple of times that, he was like, I was like, what? Did you just say that to people? But he, he can be a little, brash at times, especially before me. Because I mean, even somebody commented to me one day, like, "Oh, I was at first I was worried about you." That's because they didn't know me. So they were like, I was, because Bernard, he can be kind of, rough around the edges, and but I see you can take care of yourself. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, what they talking about? So I would say, but his mama, she didn't play. She, basically one of those things. So.
Okay.
I sense no lies in that. It's all true.
No lies detected.
But pretty much, you'd swear that we were raised by the same mama. Her mom is not mean. Her mom is no nonsense. She Kenya is no nonsense. I mean, she's who she is. She knows what she knows, and she'll take that much before she's back in. She'll more retreat to her world before she lets you know how messed up your world is. But if you catch her at an off moment when, let's just say she might not be prayed up completely. prayer tank at 75%.
Oh my God.
Then Carolyn's gonna show up. And it's like, before you know it, you've been told and you completely understand that there was an error in your ways.
That don't happen often.
Her mother's a beautiful lady, and I love her.
Oh my God.
Really. Initially, her mom was like, I'll just say a mouthful. And it was like, wow. What? And I used to sometimes I tell her, you need to call your mom so I can get a good laugh.
She might be watching.
I hope she's watching. I thought her mom was a mouthful, and I would be like, call your mom so I can get a good laugh, because she tells the truth about life, period. It doesn't matter who's doing it, where it's being done, her mama gonna tell it. And it'd be funny. Yeah. And Kenya, she's accidentally funny. She just be talking, and I be in tears. I mean, it's like I don't know where it comes from. It's just all true. And what do they say? Tragedy plus time equals humor. She cuts out the time sometimes, though, so it's just funny. And then I'll just say from her dad, we haven't spent a lot of time interacting with her dad, just us two together, but he is most definitely a man of God, and he stays prayed up. And if you need a prayer to get through, then I understand. I'm the head of the house. I cover my family in prayer. And I don't believe that prayers bounce off the ceiling back towards you, when I issue them up. But I know that Kenya can get a prayer through. And it's like, she's not one of those people who's like, I'll pray for you, honey. And no, she said, I'll pray for you. Chances are within the hour, she's going to be on her knees and calling on the Lord on your behalf.
Or I might just pray. Let's pray right now. That's usually what.
I love it.
It's like, pray for me. Come on, let's pray. And you're like, I don't want people. No, right now, let's pray. Let's pray. And so definitely love that spirituality. And I hope it's okay to say this, but I love Kenya's legs. Absolutely. I don't know, track star, swimmer, and I look at her dad's legs, and it's like, wow. You're like, daddy's legs. So big muscles. Wow. I'm not macking on her daddy. He's a handsome man. But yeah.
Answer our next question. Because we just said the next question would be, what specific part of me do you never want to change? And I'm just gonna say, Kenya, I don't think Bernard ever wants you to change those legs, girl. No.
Show them legs. Show me a little leg.
If he bad,
she can just sit down and cover them up as long as she's always going to be the most beautiful, most beautiful.
So real quick, This show has been awesome. It's like flew by. It's
The
almost
hour has gone.
like
Wow.
But I want you to tell the people where they can find both you people. I know we have your phone number. We dropped in the chat to hit you up for the videos and things. So if y'all have social media, any platforms, anything, please tell the people where they can find you.
Yes, we are at Kenya Jackson. We don't have a business platform on YouTube or Facebook. We just Kenya Jackson. You can find on Facebook, Bernard Jackson, Facebook, email Berken, BERKEN DSBTR@gmail.com. You can email us also if you wanted to send a message to us regarding the video. And what else?
Well, when COVID hit, we slowed down in the dance, but we do have another business that where we really work towards assisting other people to develop their financial freedom. So we work in the affiliate marketing space where we do e-commerce, and we're always looking for people who are, young people who are ambitious, teachable, coachable. And so, that phone number, 512-415-5713, or again, the email, BERKEN DSBTR for Berken Distributor @gmail.com. Distributor is just abbreviated DSBTR for us.
Okay.
Berken, Ken.
You said the email again. I was going to put it in the chat. You said Berken.
It's short for Bernard and Kenya. So Berken, BERKEN, and then DSBTR@gmail.com.
All right, I think I got it right. You guys can put it in the chat. You guys check it out.
Yep, Berken. Oh, it's DS. D as in David. D as in B. Berken DS.
The B is missing between the S and the T. So.
Oh yeah, you guys can type it in.
DSBTR@gmail.
We'll flash it up on the screen.
Awesome.
Okay, so we've got the awesome, guys. There we go. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We definitely enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed spending the last hour with us. We definitely appreciate it. You got anything else, babe?
No, it's been awesome, man. I'm definitely gonna hit you guys up from the dance lessons. We need to hang out as well. That's an awesome story. I love it. Y'all motivated me to actually get out there and get active too. I need to start dancing myself. So.
Love it. Awesome, guys. Well, beyond the Vowz family, thank you guys for hanging out with us again for the last hour and chatting with our special guest, Bernard and Kenya Jackson. We definitely appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And remember, never settle.
Always take it to the next level. Until next time, guys.
Grace and peace. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.